Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. It's the Spiritual Warrior UK here. If you are new to the channel, then welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad that you found me. There's always a reason why you find certain things when you need them. I'm a great believer in that. So I hope that you find this this video useful on your journey and that you join our tribe. So please hit the like button and you know, join our wonderful community here. I hope that all the information that I put out is of use to you. If you're returning, then welcome again. Thank you for all your wonderful likes and shares and really being so supportive in what I do, and just trying to share my experience and help guide you and just tap into some of your energies to navigate you through this journey of ascension. So I'm doing a reading on the new moon in Libra. The energies have really been hotting up already. Certainly for me, when this happens, I get really tired, and I was feeling that last week already, just like mentally tired, like my mind was tired, like my body didn't feel tired. It was a kind of a strange feeling. Lots of kind of stuff going on in the well, we know there's lots of stuff going on astrologically. I think we've got 7 planets in retrograde. Certainly we've got Mercury in retrograde, which brings about a whole lot of other stuff. I'm going to do a video on that actually. That came through to me this morning. So really we've got the new moon in Libra on the 6th and the 7th, depending on where you are in the world. And the new moon is really about new ways of relating to people. Libra loves partnership. It reminds us that there's no need to go it alone, that we're not living in a vacuum, that we can have relationships, partnerships, whether this is friends, family, community support, actions. So if you are looking for a relationship or you are looking to expand your current relationship, this is really a great time to call these things in. So how do you relate to others? You know, as this is the sign of partnership, we use this month to really ask yourself how are you getting on with the most important people of your life, whether you've met them yet or not. You know, pay particular attention to this new moon if you want to call in a partner, if you want to ascend your current relationship, whether that's take that to the next level. You might also want to watch how you are communicating as well with that Mercury retrograde as well. You know, just have a little bit of patience. Try not to get triggered too much, because this time of this new moon in Libra is a great time to negotiate. Libra is also about refinement and beauty. So you might want to create a great space of where you are. You might want to, I don't know, do something to take care of yourself, or you might take yourself for a massage or a facial, something like that. And it's really about regaining your identity. Who are you? I mean, this is the question that we can ask kind of throughout, but it's really interesting. So I pulled some cards. I pulled some cards on the overall energy of this reading, and I really felt drawn to the Journey of Love deck, which is this beautiful deck, and I got this card, Self-Initiation. Now the energies that I get, this is, you know, with all this red, we've got the root chakra, we've got that groundingness, that kind of need for looking at the self-survival, the root of your problems. I'm also getting, when you do this, can you see how yellow, excuse my nails, this is? Now when I actually look at this card, it's not as yellow as I'm looking at it on the camera. So for me, I'm really, really being drawn to this light, and I feel like I'm actually almost seeing like a plugged in effect of from the root up to the crown chakra, that there's a lot of light pouring in at the moment. With the self-initiation card, I feel like, you know, there's always teachers, there's always mentors, there's always people that you are going to find that's going to resonate with you, and then they won't resonate with you. They will help you on your journey, but it's kind of like, you know, life is the journey. Life is the teacher, and we are here to initiate our heart, to initiate our mind, to initiate our souls, to be able to integrate that to what we are feeling and where we are, and grow. It's like I'm so drawn to this spiral. It's like I feel like I'm being pulled upwards, ascending and going higher and higher places, almost like I'm hearing higher to a place that I've never been before in this life realm. It's really interesting that they say realm. It's kind of a new word that they've used here, but I'm getting a lot of, it's a very interesting energy that I'm getting with this. It's like a strong, it's like strong, but it's subtle, because I feel very peaceful in this state. I feel very peaceful in this energy, and that whatever's going to happen, I know that I'm going to be okay. I know that I'm going to have, it's like I wanted to say be happy, but I kind of stopped myself because, well, I am happy, you know, could always be happier. But it's that contentment. I feel like this is about the self-contentment. Just show you that light. You see how she's kind of leaning back. This is not gender specific, but it's like I surrender. I surrender to my life lessons. I surrender to the teacher of my life. And whoever I find along the way will help me ascend in my own path of being, my own path of just needing to go within. So this is the overall energy. I also poured a tarot and the Ace of Cups. I mean, we can't really get much more about this. And if you look down here, where we've got these, excuse me, where we've got these rainbow colours, bear with me. Burning essence has just got down my throat. So I'm really, really drawn to this. It's like where I've been pushing out my light, where I've been shining myself as brightly as I can. I've now gone to a different dimension, is what I feel like. Yes, I'm on the earth plane, and yes, I choose to have my success, my peace, my happiness, my relationship on this plane while I am in this life. But I feel that you're calling on experiences and knowledge from your other lifetimes, and I feel like there is an integration of everything at the moment. Again, I'm feeling that this is light codes coming down, so if you are feeling tired, if you are feeling this energy, I'm actually really drawn to checking out the Schumann resonance at the moment, which I haven't done for a while. And normally when I look at it, when I'm feeling tired like this, it normally kind of goes off the scale a little bit. So there you go. So if you don't know what the Schumann resonance is, you know, just have a look at, you can just Google it, and you can see all these big spikes. It's almost like, I love how the lovely astrologer Pam Gregory describes this. It's like the Earth's heartbeat. So when we get these big, and these aren't massive, because we can get a lot of the whiteness that comes down, but you can see that there's very, you know, some very big, those subtle increases here, and this is today. So if you are ever feeling unsure of what's going on, do look at the Schumann resonance, because it is a great gauge to have an understanding. It's interesting, when I was meditating on the space and what tarot cards that I came in, straight away I knew I wanted to use the Vagabond tarot. I've not used it for a while, and it's just got a great energy, and of course it's got all the moon signs on it, so I also love that. I feel like we've got a couple of the archangels. I feel like Mary Magdalene has also come in. This is a kind of a new energy for me. I don't really know an awful lot about Lady Magdalene, but she's been coming into my energies, as have a lot of the Ascended Masters in this last month. So this has been quite interesting. So what I actually heard was, when I called in my guides and my teachers, my angels, was that Lady Nada is here. And I thought, oh, who's that? I've not heard of her before. And then, of course, it was Mary Magdalene. So really interesting that her energy has also come to join us. And I'm really, really drawn to pink. I've got a pink candle lit. I don't know whether you can quite see that here. And I've got a number of sprays that I use as well, and I'm really drawn to the magentas and the pinks at the moment. So I feel like there is a lot of heart energy, a lot of love energy within the turbulence of shaking things up of all these planets. So let's crack on. That was the intro. So just to remember that this is a general collective reading, only take what resonates, you know, and really tarot, especially my tarot, is just about reaffirming what it is that you already know. This is about that little voice that's inside of you that you don't quite trust, that you don't quite know whether it's going to happen that way, but you've just got this feeling, you've just got this sense, and this is about tuning into that. So you know, just take the parts of what resonates for you, and if it's not what's going on for you, then it is not what's going on for you. If you would like a personal reading, then my store is restocked every Saturday. There are lots of offerings, and you can get all of those at thespiritualwarrior.uk. Just one more thing before I go is that I have been doing regular they started off as cacao ceremonies and kind of turned into meditations, but they are a mixture of the two. I don't do them every month, but I do them each time that I'm drawn to feeling like there's a big shift or something that we need to ground in. I did the autumn equinox, which was amazing. Thank you for everyone that turned up on that. It was a very emotional meditation, and I had it all planned out, and I didn't do any of what I had planned out. I got drawn into a completely different way, a different mood, and it was really fantastic. So all of you that are on that, you should have received the recording of that. So if you haven't, please do drop me an email. So my next one is going to be the winter solstice. So this is in December. I always do them on a Sunday afternoon UK time, 4 p.m, because that's kind of what works for me, and more people can join at weekends. These are recorded events, as I have said, so if you can't join, if you're in a different time zone, or you join and then you can't make it, you do get sent the recorded video, but also it's always lovely if you can join live. So these they change. Have a look at the website with all the details on, and kind of give you a rough layout, but it's always subject to change depending on where I get drawn to. So enough of rabbiting on, let's get on with it. Luna, let's see what we want. Okay, Spirit, what else do we need to know about this new moon in Libra, please? What are the overall energies, please, of this new moon in Libra? Thank you. Wow. New moon in Libra, please. What else have we got? New moon in Libra, thank you. Anything else? One more? Okay. I'm actually really drawn to the bottom of the deck as well. So let's have a look at what we've got here. We've got a time for healing. We have, that was on the bottom of the deck. Look at the bigger picture, which is the full moon in Sagittarius. We have balance, spirituality and practicality, the full moon in Pisces. And we've got a time to give rather than take, the new moon in Virgo. So what I'm getting with this is that it was interesting is when I was shuffling, it felt like it was almost slicing. It's like that was the word that that I was being given. It's like slicing. It's lots and lots of thin slices. And it was almost like a bread slicer that I was hearing. And I feel like with the combination of everything that's here, that's kind of what it is. Though I feel like the overall energy is about love. It's about the different segments is what I'm getting. So it's like loving of the self, loving of the creation, loving of a partnership, loving of the family, loving of the children, loving of your current world, loving of where you want to go, loving to where you've come from. You know, so often we get stuck in this place of, why is life so difficult? Why, you know, why me? Why do I have to deal with all this? Why, you know, everybody, they look like they have a much better life and they all seem to be having a good time. And, you know, I do a lot of readings, and I do hear this a lot from people. Excuse me. You know, the question why, and we can really, really go round and round and round in our heads with that. Why is it like this? And of course we've got to somehow try and look at the bigger picture in what's going on in our world, and try to see as much as we can the good in all the teaching. Maybe it's not always good, you know, maybe teaching is a better word, in what's going on, because sometimes it's really, really tough and there is no getting away from that. You know, and it's about, yes, you can stand back from it and you look back and you think, wow, you know, some of the, you know, the biggest and most painful experiences in our life bring about the greatest and the newest beginnings and adventures. But sometimes, you know, that pain can be very, very painful, and we never know what's going on with somebody. And I feel like, you know, loving thy neighbour is also coming up. Like, I prefer to say, like, loving the brother and sister in wherever they are, whatever their beliefs are, you know, whether they believe in spirituality or not, whether they think it's just a load of woo-woo rubbish, it doesn't matter, because, you know, it may not be their job to be awake in this lifetime. You know, we all have our own path, and we have to respect everybody's path. We can't change anybody else. We can only change ourselves, and we have to take responsibility of what we're attracting in. And this is really tough. You know, there's no judgment here, because, you know, I've had experiences happen to me, and it's like, really? We're doing this again, are we? You've got to be kidding. And, you know, and I have a few strong words with spirit going, really? Did we not already address this? And, you know, it can be difficult. It's like, you know, what am I doing to bring this into my world again? And that can be tough if you're feeling in a place that's you're having a difficult time, or you feel like someone else is being very unjust towards you. It's very difficult to see your part in. So that's why I say there's no judgment in this. But if at some point we can see what our input into attracting this into our lives is not necessarily about that current situation, but it's about that thread, it's about that energy, and it's about that layer. And that's what I feel like all these things are. And that's why I feel like we've got all these different moon energies. It's like the slices, it's like the thin slithers of everything that's been going on within your world. Will kind of, I feel like is kind of might come up at some point or another. I feel like that's the Mercury retrograde stuff that's going on. So it's like, breathe into this, because I feel like kind of as I go into the Mercury retrograde energy, like I'm getting these kind of palpitations. And I have, if you follow me on social media, you know, I mentioned this last week. And I'm getting it again when I flip into the Mercury retrograde energy. So as I said, I'm going to do a reading on that, but yeah, it just feels that that's kind of in the mix, if you like. So if something is coming up with you know, things that are going on, things that are returning, we know that with Mercury retrograde. But also what happens with the new moon in Libra is that, you know, things that have been on your to-do list, that have been sat there for a while, it's a really good time for sort of completing things within this energy. That really helps. And it's, you know, it's about balancing up. It's about that that intention that we set, that desire that we want, that as we move into the last 3 months of this year, of what has been, you know, a very different year for a lot of people. So remember, it's about gaining your identity back, bringing in the partnerships, the togetherness. So if you've lost your sense of identity at all, this is the time to really think about that. You know, think about how your interactions with others have been. Do you need to address your identity? Do you need to address how you communicate with others that aren't on the same, you know, that aren't on the same level as you? And it's not level because that feels like you're above them, just not on the same place as you. You know, myself as a Sagittarian, this is something that I've had to learn, and I'm still trying to master it, I have to say. You know, people that know Saggies, sometimes we can be very blunt. It's not intentional. It's just that sometimes our brains are just not engaged with our mouths, and it just out it comes, and then it's just too late, and it's like, well, you know, but it's always truthful. Not that that's always a good thing, you know. Sometimes the truth can be tough. So I feel like this is the new beginnings of healing, healing on a different level, healing on a different layer. And actually, I'm hearing healing in a different dimension as well. So I feel like there's past life stuff that's coming up here. I'm being shown a bridge, which is really interesting because I'm really drawn to this spray, which is the magenta bridge. And it kind of, it's about bringing in heaven and earth. So for me, that's about bringing in the two different dimensions, you know, as spiritual beings having a human experience. Sometimes this can be the challenge when we see all around us is the human experience, but we know more than what we see. We know far beyond our own eyesight, and I feel like this is what this is really about. So I'm just going to clarify for each of these cards. So time for healing, please. Can you just give me some more on this? Thank you. Okay, we have the Page of Wands, and we've also got Seven of Wands in reverse. Okay, balance and spirituality. Thank you. Got the Ten of Pentacles. A time for giving rather than taking, please. What else do we need to know? Interesting that we've got the Moon and the Ace of Cups again. And, you know, on nearly all the readings that I've done this week, the Ace of Cups, I think, has appeared in all of them. Really, in all of them. It's definitely an energy that's in the forefront at the moment, for sure. For sure. And then let's have a look at the bigger picture, please. What else do we need to know about this? Thank you. Got Three of Pentacles. Okay. Also brought me to the bottom of the deck as well. Okay, right, let me just, give me a sec to tune in. I'm actually hearing bringing back the fizz, the bubbles into your life, which is an interesting concept. A time for healing. I feel that there have been lots of new beginnings over the past, and I'm hearing 3 years. So again, take this as this resonates. With the Page of Wands, this is about meaningful communication, curiousness. The page is about wanting to explore, wanting to study, and really have the attitude about what is this all about. And I feel like there is a going within. It's not quite hermit energy, but allowing things to come up and rise and clear, which is really interesting because I've actually had this happen to me today. Really old stuff. I was communicating with a very beautiful friend of mine. We're really into open water swimming, so we went lake swimming this morning, and we're in the UK, it was cold. So and I was just talking about my experience. She said, just let the water heal you. Ask the water to cleanse you. So we did this kind of lovely little thing when we were swimming around in this lake. And then all this old emotion came out, and I really felt it. And I laughed because I was saying to her, you know, when I asked for cleansing, I kind of just wanted them to take it away rather than to bring up the emotion and have to go through that again. But that's the way they did it. So, you know, be careful for what you wish for. What I like about this is that there feels like there's a more of a vulnerability around you with this. It doesn't feel like such a need. I don't need to be so defensive. I'm feeling like, even though I'm bringing the fizz back into life, I feel like there's just it's like they're showing me hands that go, just don't worry, just calm, don't worry about it, calm down, don't worry about it. And that's a really interesting, because I've had that happen as well. Maybe this is like a therapy session for me today. So again, if you follow me, you'll know that I'm bringing out my own oracle deck, which is going to be called the Rise of the Warrior Oracle. And there's been some delays, and I really wanted to have this for late October at the very latest, so we could, you know, kind of use Christmas. It's been delayed, but it is in print now. It will take 3 weeks because of where it's being printed to kind of get to me. So I do believe that I'll have it just before Christmas. Just before. And I've kind of just given this up to Spirit in, right, you know, it'll get to me when I need to get it, and I'm not going to resist against what is. So I've really let go of that trying to control this. And, you know, it just comes to me at the right time. And that's very different for me. And I've really been able to do that. And I feel like this is what this energy is about. I feel like it's healing old parts of you that was frightened to be vulnerable. And what they do is bringing me back to this self-initiation. It's like I feel like I can kind of open myself up and allow the love to come in, allow myself to love myself. You know, certainly with the Libra, it doesn't need to be about loving another person. This could be an influx of self-love, self-care, loving a pet, loving, you know, it doesn't need to be another, you know, human species. It can be a number of things. You know, loving of the self is also a great thing that we need to go through. The balance of the spirituality and practicality. Now that's kind of what I was saying about the Ace of Cups, because I was feeling that it's like these two worlds coming together. It's like, you know, yes, we're in this this world in the 3D where our eyes don't see beyond that, but our minds do. Our third eye sees beyond that, and I feel like that's the balancing out. Yes, I understand this, but you know, I kind of want a bit of joy in the 3D as well, rather than just in the 5D. And I feel like that's the balancing out. I feel like you know, a lot of the lessons have been learned is what I'm hearing, and now it's time to put that fizz back into your life and have a little bit of uplifted energy. It's like, let's raise the vibe. Let's kind of reopen a portal. So let me just have a look. There was something that I saw. I took a picture of it, and it's reactivate the light cords of who you are connected with. It's like open the gateways to people that you either want to bring in, whether it's somebody that you know, that you don't know, that you've met, that kind of thing. And that's really what I'm getting with that. And with the Ten of Pentacles, you know, that's that real kind of having it all, the relationship that you desire, the money, the lump sum, the tradition, you know, all these things. It's really like, you know, I can chuck it up to the universe, and the universe is going to bring it down to me. And I believe that with every soul, every being of my body. And that's the balancing out of what you can manifest, and as you see if you're manifesting it, and seeing a little bit more of manifestations of things. I wouldn't necessarily say relationships, because, you know, remember that there is divine timing within that, and there is also free will, bringing about more general things like money and things like that. Then, you know, that certainly is something that I have seen sort of speed up. A time to give rather than take. I feel like what this is with this beautiful Look at these Ace of Cups again. I just love these cards. And the moon. Now we know that the moon is about illusions. It's like what's been illuminated. And I feel like it's the path that's being illuminated. It's almost like trying to catch her attention. It's like, don't look away. I want you to look up here for me. And what they're really bringing to me is the numbers. The numbers 18 go together to 9. And 9 is very much about the self-mastery, the union with the higher self. It's like tune into your higher self, allow the higher self to guide you, to really bring about this beautiful cup of love, this excitement that's coming in, this happiness, this joy. It's like, look at all the crystals that are on here. You know, we love our crystals. And this dove, you know, of peace. You know, you're flying high, you're ascending with peace, with love, with an open heart. And yes, you can overflow your cup with love, letting go of the illusion that you've got to be in this mindset of lack. I feel like this is a big shift. You know, it doesn't need to be all about bringing it in for me. It's like I can give, and that also brings me in love because I can give to somebody else. Looking at the bigger picture, really drawn to what was going on underneath. We've got the Three of Pentacles, so learning, teamwork, recognition, busy, starting new things is actually what I'm getting here. I'm also hearing the blood moon. Now, I don't know when the blood moon is. If somebody looks that up, can you put it in the comments? I don't know when that is, but I'm really being drawn to this moon. I feel like if there's a project that you're working on, look when the blood moon is, because I feel like there's going to be a big injection, even though it's just for a small part of you. With this Four of Pentacles, actually what I like is I'm not getting this holding on energy so much. Remember that I'm not a traditional tarot reader. I'm an intuitive tarot reader, so I can get really different messages from the cards. The cards really just guide me in. They open up my channeling to allow my guys to come in and just really fine-tune what I'm getting and just allow the more details to come in. And with this, I feel like there is a real positivity, again, reunion. And I feel with this, like holding on to these coins, it's almost like I feel really happy and really proud. It's like a feeling of pride within this stuff. Like, I've created this, I've got through this, and it's like, this is the new me, and I want to hold on to the new me. I don't want to go backwards. I want to be this person that I can set my boundaries and honor and give, but also say no and be okay with that, and just allow the sun to shine around me and just be completely liberated in my growth. It feels like it's a very positive energy. And then on the bottom of the deck, I also got the strength. Again, look at the sun shining here. It's like the sun is shining in the background and you might not notice it, but the sun is shining so brightly on you, and your strength is coming in, your strength is growing. It's really becoming part of, oh, that's really interesting. Look, I picked that card up with this. A new romantic cycle begins, and it's the new moon in Libra. Thank you, Spirit. Don't you just love it when that happens? I love that when that happens live, because people don't always believe it when it's not been live. So I love that for me is just another just affirming of everything that I've been channeling here, is that, it is a romantic cycle, but it doesn't necessarily need to be with somebody else. It's about that romantic cycle with life, with life experiences. Yeah, it's like, interesting, like the Hermit is, I'm not getting this inward journey, but it's like the inward journey of mastery, because it feels like it's very outward, and it feels like it's time to step out and be out and but what I'm being drawn to this card is the mastery of what you've been through your life cycles. And then we've got the Temperance as well. So we've got a lot of major arcanas coming up here. The Hermit, the Temperance, we've got the Strength, we've got Moon, and we've got a lot of aces on here as well. So I feel, we always know that October is going to be powerful energy, and we're seeing it here with the Temperance card again, and this is for Sagittarius. So if you've got Sagittarian in your chart, or your person or yourself is Sagittarian, just another information that, yeah, this is for you, this is much more for you. If you don't, it doesn't mean that this reading is not for you. Just take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you just look at this, yeah, I'm balancing out. I'm balancing out. I can have, okay, yeah, I've got it. I can have one foot. Okay, this is really weird. So twice I've turned the bottom of the deck over. Last time I did it, I wasn't drawn to take it, but it was the Emperor, and now I've done it and it was the High Priestess, but I got kind of Empress energy, so I feel like there is a balance of masculine and feminine energy coming within this. What I got with this, with the 1 foot on and 1 foot off, it's that 3D 5D thing. So I do feel like there is this balance going on in the spirituality and practicality, the practicality being the 3D of where we are in our human experience, and the spirituality in our spiritual experience, and really being able to merge those two worlds together, where we've always felt that we've not been able to. It's like, you're over there, you're not spiritual, the spiritual people are over here. It's like, oh, you voted for that person and you're over there and we're over here, we didn't. And it's like, you know, there's a lot of division, a lot of division at the moment, and this is about coming together. It's about coming together with your fellow man and woman, your brother and your sister, knowing that everybody is just trying to do that the best they can. But also it's about open your hearts and open your minds. You know, we never stop learning. I know that you know that. We never stop learning. There's always other things that we know and we grow about. There's always another layer. As frustrating as that is, you know, when you're like, great, another layer, thanks very much, Spirit. I'm really being drawn to a deck. I can't find it. There you go. So just really, really beautiful energy. Probably kind of waffled on long enough. I thought this was just going to be a short one, but hey, we do what we do. So look out for the Mercury retrograde. I'm going to try and get that out, I don't know, sometime this week. Let's have a look. So guidance, please, Spirit, guidance. Oh my God, don't you just love it? Trust the universe. And you know, sometimes we struggle. I have things that have happened. I feel that, you know, compared to a lot, I've probably had it really easy. And compared to a lot, I've probably had it really hard. You can't, you know, one thing that people do say is, you know, there's always people worse off than me. And yes, there are. And there's always people better off than you. And what we do when we do that is that we don't honour how we feel. It doesn't matter that there are people worse off or better off than you. This is about your experience and how you master your experiencing. This is the mastery. This is the number 9. It's like it's coming through so much. The mastery of growth and expansion. If we go to that self-initiation, number 3, the 12 equals 3. If you're doing your numerology, it's that growth and expansion. It's the building blocks in the spiritual world, on the material world that it's built. That is the balance of the spirituality and the practicality of the 3D and the 5D and the different layers that go way above that. It just winked at me was the sacred plan. And I flipped it back over, but that also winked. Let's have a look at this. Oh, yes. And look at this sun. You know what I said with this? Look at the light. Then look at the sun that's in here. And that's really what we've got to tune into. Expect the miracles. Expect the growth. So I'm going to leave you there with so much love, so much light, and have a wonderful new moon.